So, without sounding like a bad Naruto plot, I'm talking bonds.
The Nerd Fighters!
So this video is kind of a response to Andrew, and to Nathan, and to Connor, and goes along with a theme of this week of beliefs as well as a follow-up to a video I did a while ago. So, let's get started. So beliefs are a very personal thing, obviously. Everyone has their own set of beliefs. You can still believe in the same idea, or goal, or religion, while still having your own individual, personalised set of beliefs. Now for me, I don't believe as such in a higher power or some kind of religion, but I am very happy that people have beliefs in whatever they believe in. I spent an hour and a half debating with Connor last weekend about religion and the theology behind it and the ideas of, what's believed, why it's believed. And it's a really interesting discussion between us on the Saturday night. But it shows you what kind of people we are, because neither of us said the other was wrong. We just enjoyed the discussion. But that quite nicely segues onto my beliefs. My belief is in bonds, friendships, connections you make with other people. So that's where it ties in with Nathan and Andrew's themes of community, because community creates bonds. Andrew made a video on the subject of bonds that was supposed to go up Sunday, but he forgot to put it live, so I'll probably do that today at some point. And then Connor and I filmed a video response in Scarborough, having watched the video just after our religion debate, actually. That will probably go up at some point in the next few days as well. But my beliefs stemmed from when I was younger. I've always had a very close-knit group of friends. Ever since primary school, I'd had the same 5 people I would always hang around and see and just enjoy spending time with on the breaks and the dinners and after school and each other's houses. At home, I had 2 best friends who lived down the same street, who I'd known for, by this point, nearly 15, 20 years, I think, overall. It wasn't about having a large circle of friends, more like a small, intimate group. Now, the people I met in secondary school, who a few you've seen on this channel before, such as Stephen and Mark, and my other friends, Andrew, Chris, Craig, I've known them for years now, ever since I was 11, bearing in mind I'm 25 now, and we're as close as we've ever been, and I can't ever see myself being without them. But that relates as well to this community. NFI, of course, was my brainchild, but only off the back of several other influences, such as like the Vlog Brothers, who then spawned eventually off the Ning, the Fellowship of the Ning, which inspired the Ninglings, and then which partly inspired NFI. So Elliot's inspired it, and Meg and Niall helped to get it going. It's all that has created this. But the one thing that bothers me about bonds of the type that a lot of us have is the sheer distance. I argued before that it doesn't matter where you live or how you know someone, it's the fact that you do know someone that makes them a friend, and that someone 1,000 miles away could be as close to you as a friend as someone sat right next to you, because that's just the age we're living in now. It's not all about meeting people in person, it's about making friends through different mediums. Making friends hasn't changed, it's just the way in which we do it has. But saying that, I can't just get up one morning and decide, you know what, I'm going to hang out with Tyler today, or I'm going to go bother Andrew for a few hours. Can't do that, because there's this big expanse of an ocean in between us. And this is brilliant, don't get me wrong, I love being able to talk to people through this medium and on Facebook and everything else, Google Hangouts, but there is something to be said for hanging in person with someone. I've had the sheer privilege of meeting Niall and spending his birthday with him. And then I've met Connor twice now. Once on his home turf and one on mine, strangely enough. And I'm set to meet Connor again before he goes back to the States. We're planning some sort of trip somewhere with a group of his American friends somewhere. Then maybe hang out afterwards in England. Not quite sure yet. But that, like those 2.5 days I spent with Connor this weekend just gone, It's phenomenal. There are some things you can't learn through a camera or through text-based communication. There's like little tics in the way people talk and the way they carry themselves and the way they walk, the way they sit down, just everything. There's daft little quirks you can't learn unless you're in person. And I've probably learned more about Connor this last weekend than I've learned in the previous 6 months by talking to him online. I knew he was awesome, but I just didn't realise just how flipping funny I knew he's funny, but how do you describe it? I don't know. He's just... Connor's great. Well, that's it. That's the great thing about hanging with people. Niall, he seems very negative to people, but you spend a few hours with him, like physically interact with him, and you realise he's nowhere near as negative as he portrays on camera. He's actually a really positive guy, and he's a really funny guy as well. He's got a dry sense of humour like I have, but he's still a great person to be around. So my beliefs, the bonds I make, and the bonds I cultivate and maintain with people. I've fallen out of contact with people who I considered my best friends growing up, my early childhood really. I still speak to Dave now and again, and Ben, who I looked up to because he was like a year older than me, so I kind of looked up to him as some sort of, I don't know, influence. It did influence me a lot in a good way, but then obviously I've just stopped talking to him. But I know that when I sort of hang with Connor for the last time next week, it's going to be hard, because all I'm going to be thinking is this could be the last time I get to interact with Connor on a physical level, because obviously he lives far away, and it's not easy just to jump on a plane and go 12 hours across to the US or for him to come here. But you don't know what the future brings, obviously, but treat each day like it's the last. Those words mean a lot to me in certain ways. Like, I don't get up each morning and think, I'm going to die at the end of today. But I also think that if you treat things as if it's going to be the last time, it's special. So then if it turns out in 15 years' time I've still not seen Connor again, and I fall out of touch with him and I never speak to him again, I can look back and think, well, we made it special. Not that every time isn't special, anyway, because the way in which we've become friends and got to know each other has been much greater than just, so like, hi, how are you, lol. We've become these, like, pretty good friends, I'd have said, considering we live so far away. So my belief is that NFI has given me some amazing people in my life I would not have met if not through YouTube and Vlogbrothers and go down that whole path of progression. I believe in those people, and I will continue to do so, and I hope I never fall out of contact with anybody. You know, particularly the ones I'm very close to and I speak to all the time, such as Meg, who I don't speak to as much as I should do anymore. Chelsea, who I talk to once in a while. Tyler, Niall, don't speak to them very often really. Corolla, who messages me every now and again, just see how things are and talk about video and stuff, which is brilliant. But I suppose the point is, you guys have your beliefs. You can believe in a God or a set of principles or a way of life. I'm just going to believe in the bonds I have with people. Humanity has its flaws, there's no denying that, but I think through this I've found perhaps some of the greatest examples of what humanity should aspire to be. Not in any massive great ways, but just by people being themselves and getting on so well, respecting the difference of opinion while still being friends. So I've been standing in for Beci today because Becky's not feeling well, so get well soon. And I've not got another video for a while now, again, till maybe about August, I think. But I'm doing vlog every day in July, which I'm calling Dave. Definitely attempting vlogging every day, which is going well for the moment. But I believe you'll all have a great day. And Omar, I'll hopefully see you tomorrow.
So you've just made it through Dave's whole video. Well done. You win the internet.